And so, that's really the service that I sell is let's get great content on your website. Let's have excellent copywriting on your landing pages to help persuade people to do business with you. But then let's also have great informative content by way of blogs and articles or videos that you might, also create to teach people and give them enough information. And people want to do that. They want that there for their business, but like you said, they don't know where to start.
Mhm.
So one of the things that I started offering about 6 months ago is a marketing consultation where someone can set up a call with me.
Thank you for tuning into Time for You Evolve for female entrepreneurs. Remember, you have what it takes to achieve greatness. Your time is now. You're here with me, you're ready to change lives, and you're ready to change the world. Isn't it time to skip over the confusion and start creating sustainable and consistent results? We're going to pull back the curtain and start giving meaning to life in this podcast. Time for You Evolved. Hey, my name is Lisa Carmichael, and I am obsessed with everything online. It's no secret, in this crowded and highly competitive business world, we need to stand out. It's even more important at a deeper level to stand up for ourselves. I am a farm girl who grew up shy with zero confidence. If someone had suggested that I would eventually start a podcast, I would never have believed it. As a farm kid, I had the unique opportunity to embrace a holistic approach to life. All the seasons of growth were lessons that have helped me and other female entrepreneurs find success when they've been stuck and struggling. The Time for You Evolve podcast is here to help you navigate business online so you can be laser focused and help you navigate the messy and the magical in every season of your business. Pull up a seat to hear the tried and true secrets that other female entrepreneurs like you are facing, and get ready for real talk while you learn. This is the Time for You Evolved podcast. Hey there, entrepreneurs, ready to work smarter, not harder? Then you're in for a treat. Let's talk about video marketing, the smart approach that attracts, retains, and converts faster than any other strategy out there. Hey, I get it. Video marketing can be daunting. You should be doing it, but you're not quite ready to take that leap, or you're frustrated because you're not looking like a pro. Hey, I get it. Who can blame you? Creating videos can be frustrating, time-consuming, and downright intimidating. That's where Big View comes in. It's the solution for your frustration. With Big View, you can create professional videos with ease thanks to its teleprompter app. I've been using Big View for years. Did you know that? Big View is an app that has saved me a lot of time and hassle. The app makes it easy to create professional looking videos. It's an online teleprompter that allows the presenter to keep eye contact with the camera while reading the text they need to speak. Using a teleprompter app allows the reader to sound natural without cue cards or notes to fumble or looking down while you're speaking. And the best part is that Big View allows you to focus on your performance and delivery so your confidence shines through. You get to keep eye contact with the camera while you're reading your script. Whether you're a marketer, a blogger, a trainer, a freelancer, a publisher, or business owner, Big View is designed with you in mind. If you're ready to take your video marketing game to the next level, click on the Big View link on my website, lisarcarmichael.com/bigview. Join me and be the best presenter you can be and learn how to make great presentations. And that's lisarcarmichael.com/bigview. I really appreciate you being here with me today on the podcast. And the podcast is Time for You for female entrepreneurs. The listeners are female entrepreneurs who are either just getting started
or they might be stuck and struggling, or yeah, maybe they're seasoned and stuck and struggling. So, some of the things that you'll be sharing today will help the multi passionate female entrepreneur who might just need your services. So, Anne, who are you? Anne Schreiber. She's a marketer, a content writer for over 25 years. And I hope you share your story with us today, Anne, about your childhood love for writing. And what's really neat for entrepreneurs to see with Anne is she recently became a full time freelancer. So she has become an entrepreneur. She's a blogger, a copywriter, and she's multifaceted with everything that she writes on, from business to finance, health, marketing, wellness, business, parenting, family. So with that, I welcome you here with me today, Anne, and go ahead. Let's hear their story of how you became interested in writing and then how it all became to be that you became an entrepreneur just recently.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. This is super exciting. I love the opportunity to tell my story and hope that it will inspire other people to do something similar or find a way to pursue what they're passionate for. I have been passionate about writing since I was a little girl. I kind of was that boring little kid who didn't like to go play at the park, didn't it just wasn't my thing. Yes, I loved my Barbie dolls and, playing by myself, but I really didn't really like those big group things. Instead, I like to tell the story that when I was in elementary school on recess, when you'd have recess, I did not like going to play with the kids. I hated recess. In fact, I loved when they had the indoor days and you got to go play board games or I could write in my notebook. So on outdoor days, I would sneak out this little notebook that I'd had. It was a spiral notebook, about that big with those little pencils that you used to replace the leads. And I would sit and I would write short stories with my back against the school building. And it just made me super happy. I felt relaxed. And that's just kind of who I was. And then, and I don't remember what year it was, and this would probably really date me, but when Apple Computer started releasing personal computers that you could bring
Uh-huh.
home, my dad was an early adopter and he was a business owner and he brought home, I remember it was an Apple IIc computer and he set it up and he turned it on and he basically put me in the office chair and said, "Here, do something with this." And
Huh.
he kind of introduced me to word processing, whatever it was back then. Uh, and then, the old school computer games. And I would spend hours just in front of the computer. And I taught myself how to type. Yeah, that's how I would spend my time. And then when I wasn't able to be on the computer, I would be up in my room writing short stories. At the time, it was kind of young adult, romance, family. And I was so off base on anything in reality because I was clueless, at 10, 11, 12 years old. But that's just who
That's
I
so
am. And so it's
cool.
just always been there.
Yeah. Well, and I love that your dad did that for you because my generation, when computers were introduced, it was more for the boys, not the girls.
Yep.
Yeah, all the boys hogged the computer time and the girls had to wait their turn. So bravo to your dad.
Well, he only had 2 girls. So those
Ah,
were
okay.
there weren't any other choices. So, and my sister is quite a bit younger than me. So, when he brought home that first computer, I don't even know if she was walking yet. So, um,
Ah, funny.
yeah, it was pretty cool. Both of my parents were very supportive of my passion for writing and for reading. I was the kid who actually got in trouble for reading too much, right? I would try
Ah,
to bring a book to the kitchen table for dinner. So I just loved getting lost in the words, and I still do today. I'm much more comfortable expressing my feelings in writing than I am verbally.
oh, I think you do both really well.
Oh, thanks. It's that extroverted introvert in me.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And you worked corporately for 25 years?
Yeah, probably close to 30 now. But yeah, I think I
Okay.
say 25 years because I'm trying to defy my actual age. But yeah, I did
Okay.
the corporate thing for a
Yeah.
long time. It really started in the customer service space and then transitioned into marketing pretty shortly thereafter. And I worked for Best Buy's corporate headquarters for almost a
Mhm.
decade in various marketing roles. And that's really when I got introduced to the fact that, hey, I really love helping this company promote their services and products to consumers. Then I got recruited to FICO. So if you've all heard of your FICO score,
Mhm,
I was
mhm.
recruited there. They actually had a marketing arm selling marketing solutions based on credit data. And they hired me for my retail expertise. And that's really where I got my sales background, which does play into who I am today. And I spent, I think, almost 3.5 years there. Went to Experian. So you're hearing a little bit of a common theme with personal finance. Experian for almost 4 years, and actually wrote my first blog, I believe, for Experian. And they were trying to get a blog about the marketing services that they offered. And I kind of raised my hand. And I said, hey, I like to write. And so I wrote a few blogs for their communications department. So that was really where that introduction was. And then from there, I worked for several different financial services companies as a head of marketing, kind of transitioning back into traditional marketing up until January of 2023, when I went through a layoff, and I thought, I don't know if I want to work for somebody else anymore. And I had been doing this side hustle for years. And I thought, it just finally felt right. There was always something getting in the way of not pursuing this. And finally, the time was right. I was having interviews and people were saying, your salary expectations are too high, your job titles are too senior, your experience
Mhm.
is too out of date. That one drove me absolutely
Mm.
bonkers. And I thought, gosh, but I have this talent that I'm sitting on and this passion. Let's see where it can go. And, I guess the rest is history. These last 14 months have just flown by and I'm loving it.
That's awesome. You remind me of myself when you were talking about that you had this side hustle, because you can't just become an entrepreneur overnight. A
Right.
lot of times you have to work it alongside of everything else that you're doing.
Yeah, I was very fortunate. In 2017, when I was head of marketing for Sutherland Global Services, I should say head of corporate marketing, I could not keep up with the writing needs that we had. We were just churning out content like crazy, and I couldn't keep up. So I actually went on to Upwork and hired writers to help me fulfill those gaps.
Uh,
And I remember at the time thinking, gosh, if something were to ever change in my career, I could be on Upwork. I could be a freelancer on
mhm.
Upwork. And in 2019, I went through a job change. The company that I was working for at the time wanted me to relocate to another state, and it wasn't something I was interested in. So I decided to part ways. And as I was looking for that next gig, I pulled out that Upwork profile and dusted it off. This was in 2019, and started getting clients. And within a couple days, I had a stream of clients coming in asking for
Mm.
my services. And, I started on the cheap. I did it really lowballed my prices to get the experience. It's really where I learned about SEO, how to format writing into, chunks that people could understand, and kind of kept it as on the side for all this time. And in January of last year, when that layoff happened, and those interviews were coming, and I had so many interviews, and all that feedback was these common themes, and it was just disheartening, and
Mhm.
my motivation was plummeting. And so I reached out to a few of those clients and just said, hey, what's the chance you guys would add more to my workload? I've got more free time, trying to figure out where I want to go next. And they all responded. Not only were they willing to double my workload, some of them 3, 4 times my workload.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I
Yeah.
thought, well, gosh. And
If that's
just
not
a
a
couple of
sign.
yeah, I'm like, there's something going on here. And in a couple of days, I had already figured out how to supplement over half of the income I had been making in that last corporate role. And I thought, well, gee, you know,
Good for
there's
you.
something here. And I went
Yeah.
to my then fiance, who's now my husband, and I said, I think I want to do this full time.
Yeah.
And we kind of sat down, and he played devil's advocate. And he's like, well, what about this? What about this? And
Yeah.
I was able to answer all of those objections. And I thought, I think this is what I want to do.
That's so
And
great. You know,
yeah,
so many times fear holds us back, but you were
it
just ready
does.
to take that leap. Well, I want to go back for a second. When you were hiring out Upwork, did you find, and I've noticed this for myself when I've hired out people to write blog content for me, that I'll get their work back and I'll find myself rewriting everything that they've created And
Yeah,
I was spending more time fixing what I had paid for than if I would have just written it all myself. And did you find that happening to yourself?
that's a great question. It was really a mixed bag.
Okay.
I'll just tell you, ask me next about writers now because there's a big difference.
Yeah.
We didn't have all those tools to help us do the writing, so the writing was so much more authentic. And yes, I did
Hmm.
spend a lot of time correcting. I have an editing background from, working for school papers, etc. So I
Yeah.
did do a lot of that, but I also found a lot of the work coming in, and I was scratching my head like, this is really good. And I was
Mm.
learning, I think I became a better writer by
Oh,
hiring other writers because I learned more about different style and tone and reading
okay.
levels. So, like I said, it was really a mixed bag.
Okay. All right.
Fast forward to today, and I'm thinking about, do I want to grow my business? And I've hired some writers, and some of them have been great, and they know who they are, and some of them have been real doozies. I'm having a lot more trouble finding an authentic writer today than I used to.
Right now, do you have like a virtual assistant? Do you still hire out?
For so far this fiscal year, it's just me.
Okay.
I've really learned a lot in the last year. I've got a pretty good rhythm in place. I've built a good structure. I've put in place some boundaries that I have for
Mhm.
working with clients. And so this year, I haven't hired any of those writers yet to write any content for me. What I had been doing was asking them to write for my website so that I could keep working on, my revenue paying clients.
Mhm.
And I'm sure I will need them later, but right now I've got it pretty well handled, and it's good that way because I'm finding new topics to write about that I'm putting out on my website that I think can help others. Or if I stumble upon a problem, like, wow, I should write about what I learned from that challenge and get that
Mhm.
out there, and also writing content that holds me accountable.
Well, and I think you're a really good example of how a new entrepreneur sometimes gets lost in trying to find new business. And what you really did was you tapped into who you knew. It sounds like you reached out and then they reciprocated, and that's how you built your business. And now you're at a point strangers are attracted to you because they can trust you because of the work that you've established
Yeah.
through those first clients that you had.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate because, I've been around the block a few times, and, people who go out to my LinkedIn, they can see I've got not only the writing background, but I have the work history. I worked for some pretty impressive and big companies, Best Buy on the B2C side, FICO and Experian,
Mhm.
Sutherland Global Services. These are big B2B companies that most people have heard of. And so that has helped me gain a good reputation with experience alongside the writing, so it really helps back me up.
So, our listeners who are the new female entrepreneur, they're multi passionate, and they're just not comfortable with their writing skills, how could you help someone like that?
Yeah, I mean, we can do one of two things. The first thing that I'm always trying to talk to people about getting a blog going and getting
Hmm.
content on their website. There are 600 million blogs out there. So there is a lot of
Hmm.
noise in the system, and
Hmm.
people spend a lot of time on the internet searching. And if you don't have great content that's unique and differentiated, people are not going to find you. And so, that's really the service that I sell is, let's get great content on your website. Let's have excellent copywriting on your landing pages to help persuade people to do business with you. But then let's also have great informative content by way of blogs and articles or videos that you might, also create to teach people and give them enough information. And people want to do that. They want that there for their business, but like you said, they don't know where to start.
Hmm.
So one of the things that I started offering about 6 months ago is a marketing consultation where someone can set up a call with me. It's relatively inexpensive, and we just talk about what their goals are. Who are they? For example, let's say you're a hairstylist. There are thousands and thousands of hairstylists out there. So what makes you different? You probably offer all the same services or types of products that the hairstylist next door offers, but let's tell your story. Let's talk about why you're you. Let's talk about why someone wants to work with you. Let's get that content out there, and then let's have you start promoting it from your social media channels. that marketing consultation would be a conversation for the two of us to talk about how you can get started. The challenge then, what often happens in those calls is people are like, that sounds great, Anne. I have no idea how to get started on this. You've told me how to get started, but I still don't know what to do. I'm like, okay, well, why don't I do the writing for you? And so and then they're like, that sounds great, right? Because it allows them to keep doing what they're great at,
Mhm.
styling hair, making us look beautiful. And I can work on writing, which makes them look great at what they do. And so
Mhm.
then we would follow on with a blog scoping call, talk about, what those first few blogs need to look like, how long they want them to be. I educate them a little bit on SEO and how to, use keywords and help draw people in, how to promote it on social media. That's a call that I offer at no charge if they're going to hire me to do the writing for them. So we can really approach it one of two ways.
That's so awesome because I think a lot of times from like even for me being an entrepreneur for the past 5 years, I struggled with so many things to figure out how to do it all. And if I would have just farmed it out, if I would have hired it, I would have been able to focus on the things that I'm really good at instead of struggling. Okay. So let's just talk about the fundamentals of running a blog and even taking it a step forward with having a blogging business. Are there a few fundamentals that you would recommend?
So if you're a business owner and want to start a blog, I think the first thing that I tell people is let's look at your website first, right? Is your website clear on who you are and what services or products you sell, right? Because if we have a blog, but it's not pointing back to how they can make a conversion, there's no point in starting a blog. So let's make sure that that website is good, that you have all of the basics covered. You have an about us page, a way for people to contact you. If maybe it's a Shopify site and you've got your products. Are your products all there? Do they have great descriptions? Do you have an FAQ? Let's get all that stuff in place first. Then let's get into the blogs to help promoting your business, because that also provides a way for us to link back and forth between pages on the site, which is good for
Mhm.
SEO. And it also gives me an idea of who they are so we know what it is we want to talk about. And then we kind of get started with what I call cornerstone articles, which are just those basic articles about who you are and what you do. Like, let's go back to the hairstylist examples. 5 things to look for in a hairstylist. What are the pros and cons of coloring my hair? Basic questions that people going to a hairstylist are going to ask. How often should I cut my hair? Right? So that should be addressed in an FAQ, but we could write a longer form piece of content that talks about, the pros and cons of cutting your hair every 5 weeks or whatever it might be. And, same thing for me as a copywriter. I'm obviously helping other people write for them, but I'm writing for myself, right? So I'm putting my
Mhm.
own articles out on my website. And right now I'm doing 3 a week. Not sure that I'll keep that up, but right now I've just got a lot of great ideas from the end of the year, and I'm putting that out there and I'm promoting it on social media. So by me doing that, I can show other businesses an example. I'm doing this for my own business. I just happen to be a writer, right? Now let's do the
Mhm.
same thing for your business.
It's just a step up from a business card. It's that authoritative figure that you are credible, having
Exactly.
that blog in place.
Yeah. And that's actually a great point. When we're writing blogs, we're using what we call the EAT philosophy from Google, which is EEAT. So it's really expertise, experience, authority, and trustworthiness. So all those pieces that you put out there really should be following those principles. The point of writing them is to show people that you have experience in the space, that you know what you're talking about, and that you also have expertise. You're good at what you do. You're also trying to show that you're an authority in that space, and then you're trying to develop trust with your readers so that they want to do business with you. So that's really the underlying principle, and that's what we talk a lot about in that marketing consultation is how can we set them up to check those boxes.
Thanks for sharing that because I think a lot of times female entrepreneurs get so overwhelmed. And when they think of Google, there's so many things to learn. And we'll include that in the show notes. So, and earlier you talked about setting up good boundaries, and I love boundaries. Boundaries, I used to hate boundaries, and I know boundaries are so important. And Can you just kind of talk a little bit more about the boundaries that you set up to for your business so that you were able to find some success?
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked me that because this has been a big topic for me recently. That first year of business, you're just trying to do everything for everybody. You're doing everything that you can to get leads and to convert them into money, right?
Mhm.
And so now that I've been established, in my case, it's only a year, but really, if we think back, it's to 2017, right? So boundaries, and I wanted to find their boundaries, not barriers, right? There's a big difference between those two words. And I have put boundaries in terms of my work day as well as the type of topics that I will write on. So let's talk a little bit about the work day. So as a writer, I get very focused. And what I call it is when the words are flowing, when the words are coming, right? And like any other writer, I get writer's block, but one of the best ways for me to prevent that is to ensure that I don't have interruptions when I'm in the zone. And so the boundaries I have set up is I only take calls 2 days a week, most of the time. I do make exceptions here and there, but I do everything that I can to keep my calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That allows me to have 3 days of the week that I am just exclusively focused on writing, or maybe I have errands to run. I'm self employed, I can write my own schedule, but it gives me that flexibility to stay focused. And the other part of that is I keep my work hours that when I will interact with clients between 11 and 4. I'm not a morning person. I'm not very productive in the morning. I'm not very happy to work with. So, and I'm kind of a night owl. So I get up a little bit later in the morning. I take time to go through my email, have my coffee, get in a workout to move my body before I start working. And then after 4 o'clock, it's either family time or it's I'm gonna stay in the zone for the night and I just don't want those interruptions. So I think
Mhm.
it's important for entrepreneurs, depending on the type of business you go into, to establish those boundaries. What makes you most productive? And try to set those guidelines out there so that you can stay productive when you need to be. The other boundaries that I set is on the topics that I tend to write on. So a lot of people when they hear blogger, they think that I just have my own blog and I'm making money off my blog. That's not the type of blogger that I am. I am a blogger for businesses. So I will write for you for your business. And my preferred niches are personal finance. Obviously, I have that background. Health and wellness. I write a lot of content for dentists, which is kind of funny. I'm not a dentist. I don't play one on TV, but I'm learning a lot. Dating and wedding related content, parenting. I have 2 adult children and I have a young stepdaughter, and then marketing and business. That's really where it falls. And I tend to get a few other things, but I also have boundaries of what I will not write about. I will not write about infidelity. I will not write about intimacy. I will not write about drug use unless it's in so like vaping and cannabis topics are really
Mhm.
hot right now. I just choose not to write on those topics
Mhm.
unless it's on prevention, avoidance, recovery. And those are just the rules that I have put in place that are right for me. And then I also avoid deep technology topics because I'm not an expert and I don't find joy writing on those topics. And it's important not to take on topics that don't give you joy or you're not interested in, because you won't be able to deliver a high quality work product.
That is such great advice. Thank you for sharing that because we do feel like, we have to be ambitious and we have to know everything about everything and focus on what we know and what makes us feel good. That's
Mhm.
when the good things start to show up.
Absolutely.
So, Anne, is there anything exciting that you're working on right now that you'd love to share?
Yeah, I guess two things. One, which I think this whole call that we're having really plays into is the spirit of networking, right? So I am very introverted. I love to kind of be alone and do my thing, but I have put a goal out there for 2024 to go meet 10 to 15 new people. Now that seems like a small number, but for me, when I have to be focused and I'm not making money if I'm not in front of my laptop, that's a big goal. And I've
Mhm.
already hit 2, right? And we're at the beginning of February. So that's really getting me out of my shell. It's an additional way to generate leads, but it's also a way to find other great business owners out there that I might be able to refer to, or vice
Mhm.
versa. And then the other thing is I just kicked off writing my first ebook. The title will be something along the lines of perseverance and reinvention. I'm not going to give away the farm, but you know, I'm an ordinary woman, but I've been through a few things that other women have been through that have been challenging. And so I'm talking about my story and how I became who I am today and how I persevered through some tough times and how I've reinvented myself and I'm living my best life. And I want to share that with others, hoping that it can give them some inspiration and also show them that you're going to be okay. You're going to be
That's so
okay. You will get through
exciting.
this. Yeah,
That's awesome because mental health and what mental wellness is so important these days, especially when being an entrepreneur is such a lonely
it is.
you do feel alone a lot of times. So sharing your story not only will help so many other women, but it will help yourself.
It
Becoming
will.
a published author was so healing for myself.
Yeah.
So you're gonna love it. So
Yeah.
I will look forward to reading that and sharing that with everyone. And when you're ready to roll it out, we'll have you back. We can help you promote that. So, where can our listeners find you? What's the
Yeah.
easiest way to find you?
Well, my website, which is copywritingforyou.net, right? That's probably the first place. You can also find me on LinkedIn and Schreiber. It's Schreiber. You can also find the Copywriting for You's business page. Would love for you all to follow that. That's a great place for you to see the blog content that I'm writing for myself, for my own business, which is really about helping educate businesses about the benefits of a blog, but also helping new bloggers get started and kind of understand the fundamentals. And then you can also find me on Upwork. I'm a huge proponent of Upwork. It is one of the biggest freelancing platforms out there. It provides you with an easy platform to use to generate leads for your to help promote yourself from a marketing and advertising perspective, as well as a trusted payment portal. So for anyone trying to get started who's in the creative space, whether you're a writer, graphic designer, photographer, highly, highly suggest Upwork.
Awesome. Awesome. So, I love that you have a solution for someone who's stuck, who's struggling, who's just getting started. And instead of feeling like there's no answer, you have the solution. And Anne is very personable and very open to offering suggestions. So I love the value that you shared with us today. And again, I so appreciate having you with us here on Time for You for female entrepreneurs.
Thank you for giving me the time. I appreciate it. It's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Anne.
If you're ready to supercharge your email marketing and automation game, look no further than my favorite autoresponder, Active Campaign. It's the ultimate all-in-one platform designed to turn your contacts into customers and your customers into loyal advocates. Imagine having a tool that not only understands your customers, but anticipates their needs. That's what Active Campaign does. With its powerful customer experience automation, you can create personalized journeys that nurture leads, drive sales, and build lasting relationships. The biggest reason I chose Active Campaign after trying other autoresponders is because I wanted to make sure my emails were being delivered and not going into spam. I need to know that my emails actually get to the people I'm emailing so that I have good engagement rates, response rates, and click-through rates on every email I create. Then I can have peace of mind that what I send out about my blog posts or upcoming events gets delivered and that people get to read what I write. And since it's just me, using Active Campaign saves me a bunch of time because I've been setting up automations that I can just drag and drop, allowing me to save hours of time. Not only have their pre-built automations and integrations saved me time, I'm able to power a personalized marketing plan throughout the customer's life cycle. In the end, I really want to personalize my message and make sure that each person is getting a unique email tailored to them because I don't want to be sending bulk cookie cutter emails. I want to make sure that my customers and community is getting things that are tailored to them as much as I can. Email marketing doesn't have to be crazy where you're not just pushing information. Active Campaign teaches you how to be pulling information as well. I appreciate the value I've received from ActiveCampaign when it comes to creating and managing email campaigns. The support through webinars, live chats, and live study halls have been very helpful in maximizing their platform and a great alternative to those other email services I've tried in the past. ActiveCampaign allows me to build a business without relying on advertising. It has simplified my marketing processes, saving me time, which allows me to focus on what I do best, serving my customers. Whether you're a small business or just starting or a seasoned entrepreneur, ActiveCampaign scales to meet your needs and grows with you. If you're ready to up your marketing game, go to my website, lisarcarmichael.com/activecampaign. That's my partner link, and sign up for a free trial. Experience firsthand the power of ActiveCampaign and take your marketing to a new level. Don't miss out, stay ahead, and stay automated with ActiveCampaign. Go to lisarcarmichael.com/activecampaign for your free trial. Hi friends. Today let's have a heart-to-heart about something that's been a significant part of my life, skincare. As a busy female entrepreneur, I need a skincare routine that's quick, easy, and super effective. Turning 60 didn't bother me because I've been taking care of my skin every day for 20 plus years. I didn't always, but I'm glad I did start when I did. Let's fast forward to 1 year ago, and let me tell you about a game changer for me. I stumbled across my secret weapon, Droplet. Droplet is not your typical skincare company. It's a revolutionary approach that delivers personalized monthly skincare subscriptions tailored to your specific skin type. The magic lies in the Droplet Micro Infuser, a device that creates microscopic droplets from formulated capsules, expelling them at a high velocity to infuse ultra-concentrated active ingredients deep into your skin. Now, I'm a self-proclaimed skincare junkie. I've tried it all, from serums to spa treatments, and even once selling a natural body care line. So when I heard about Droplet, I knew I had to give it a shot. I can confidently say it's made a remarkable difference in my skin and my routine. The Droplet Skincare Micro Mist Infusing Device is a game changer. It uses a gentle mist to penetrate ingredients 20 times deeper through micro mist technology. It works with formulated capsules similar to an espresso machine, allowing you to infuse the treatments that are right for you into, not just onto, your skin. Here's how Droplet works. Choose your serum, collagen, retinol, glycolic acid, or maybe a lip plumper. Insert the capsule, hold the device to your face, and press the button. A fine mist of the serum is released onto your skin, targeting your face, your neck, chest, anywhere you want to focus on. These misting capsules have transformed my skincare routine. The results are incredible, from increased resilience to fading hyperpigmentation. Why do I love Droplet? It's quick, easy, and the capsules are recyclable. No cleanup, no hassle. And here's the bonus. Droplet's formulas are clinical strength, dermatologist recommended, cruelty-free, sulfate-free, paraben-free, gluten-free, soy-free, fragrance-free, and vegan. It's a skincare lover's dream. If you're looking to level up your skincare routine and evolve beyond the basics, Droplet is your answer. Plus, they offer free skin consultations with their estheticians to address your skin concerns. Investing in a good skincare routine and self-care is crucial for any woman, especially us busy entrepreneurs. First impressions matter, and you want to put your best face forward. It's time to evolve and embrace the next level of skincare. Head over to the Droplet link on my website today, where you can start your own personalized Droplet routine. Here's to glowing, radiant, and fiercely beautiful you, no matter what age you are. Go to lisarcarmichael.com/droplet. I hope hope you enjoyed this episode of Time for You for Female Entrepreneurs. If you loved this episode as much as I did, head on over and rate and subscribe so you never miss an episode. New episodes drop every week, and if you want to support the show, leaving a review goes a long way. A special shout out to our amazing partners and sponsors. Their support allows us to continue bringing you engaging content every week. And with that, a big thank you. I look forward to seeing you next time.